Hey everyone, we are setting aside these next 2 Wednesdays for days of prayer and fasting as a church. We're actually doing the whole 2 weeks for prayer, but wanting to keep these Wednesdays, we're meeting in the evening, 8 p.m. on Zoom to pray, and wanting to make the days where we fast. And that might be a new thing for you, it might be that you've done it before, but in the next few minutes I'm just going to try and bring a bit of teaching, I guess, and also encouragement to think about why on earth you would want to do that. Hands up, I am not good at fasting. It is not something that comes very naturally to me. Some people don't get hungry till lunch. I'm the kind of person that wakes up feeling hungry and eats about every 2 hours. So fasting, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. And I guess first of all, I want to just say what fasting isn't. I actually read today, because I was reading ahead in 1 Corinthians in chapter 8, to paraphrase, it says something like, food doesn't matter. It says it's of no consequence if I do eat and no consequence if I don't. And that's in a particular context, but it's actually a broad principle basically saying whether if I eat food, it doesn't commend me to God, and if I don't eat food, that doesn't commend me to God either. Fasting is not a way to basically make sure our prayers get answered. It's not a way to kind of force God to hear us and answer what we've got to say. That isn't it. We don't gain points before God for fasting or not fasting. In fact, even another point in the Bible, 1 Timothy 6, I think, it says anyone who teaches that you should abstain from foods is a heretic. It's one of my favourite verses in the Bible. And so we just have to be really careful we don't get it wrong. We don't misunderstand why we're fasting. We're not doing it to gain points with God, to force him to answer our prayers. That will backfire quickly if we think that is anything to do with it. So why are we doing it? I think a big part of the answer, there's multiple answers. Jesus told us to, the Bible teaches us to. A big part of the answer for me is that I embrace fasting because I don't know how to pray. The Bible says that none of us know how to pray as we should do, which is quite encouraging actually, because we all know that we don't know how to pray. So it's helpful that the Bible tells us that actually no one does. And we all find prayer difficult. We all get distracted by the world around us in ways that stops us from seeking God as our truest fulfillment, as the ultimate answer. We get distracted by TV and phones and social media and food. And one of the reasons that I fast is that I need to eliminate some of those distractions to allow my hunger for God to genuinely come alive and be there long enough for it to really get my attention. If I stop eating, I quickly am reminded by it again and again because of hunger pangs, because of tiredness, because of headaches, because of all kinds of things that remind me I need food. And it's like a prompt to my soul to say, yeah, I need food physically, but actually I need God more right now than I need food. And I don't always feel like that. I don't naturally feel like that. I need to get rid of some of the distractions in my life, some of the things that are always there and ready and willing to kind of meet my immediate needs in a way that stops me from meeting my deeper needs. Now, for me, that's food. And to be honest, if you're wired like me, physically, emotionally, or whatever it is, you may find that, like me, just fasting breakfast and not eating till lunch is a good way, basically, to help you for the first hours of the day focus on the Lord. It might be that it works. What you need to do is fast breakfast and lunch, and sometimes I'll do that as well, and that will help me focus the day. It may be that you're a 24-hour person; you can go the whole way, and sometimes I will do that. Often I won't, because I just tend to plummet after about 5 o'clock. It might be that fasting from food is not appropriate for you for medical reasons or for work reasons, in which case and even if it isn't, I'd also just encourage you to be thinking not just about food, but to be thinking about what else you can do. And it may be a social media thing, it might be a coffee thing, it might be any kind of distraction, and it might just be a short window, like you just say, I'm going to not do this for this 20 minutes when I normally do it, and I'm going to replace it with prayer, or it might be a longer window, like a whole day, or anything else. The options are kind of endless. It really depends on your own life, on your own soul, on your own lifestyle, and your work environment, all that kind of stuff. So I would love to just encourage you to think and pray about these next 2 Wednesdays. The best thing you can possibly do is when this video stops, you just take the first few minutes, 5 minutes when it finishes. If you can't do that, put a time in the diary as soon as you can, just to take 5 minutes to make a decision. What could I let go of? What could I stop that is one of the parts of my life that will kind of meet some of my needs, and I would deliberately want to leave that to one side and turn my attention more wholeheartedly to the Lord. I'd love to encourage you to just take first steps. If you've never done it before, or if it's been a long time, just to take a step into it, and then join us at 8 p.m. on Zoom to pray together for God to come and continue blessing us and meeting us as a church. See you there.